Welcome to Chapter 1, Why Go Global? Before we go any further, I'd like to hear a little bit about why you chose to study international business. So please pause the video, click on the discussion forum, and post a little bit about your studies, your background, and what you hope to get out of the class. Later on in the week, please respond to 2 or more classmates. When you're done posting in the discussion forum, please restart the video. Welcome back. Surely you know what holiday is coming up very soon in February that results in lots of sales of cards, chocolate, and flowers. But have you heard of Singles Day? Please take a moment to click on the assignment that asks about Singles Day. Take your best guess as to what you think Singles Day is, and then return to the video. You probably haven't heard of Singles Day before. It's on November 4th in China, and it results in sales of consumer goods of $10 billion. That's quite a bit of sales. And in fact, in 2014, it resulted in sales that were more than 6 times the volume of Black Friday. To learn more about other holidays that result in large consumer sales around the world, please pause the video now and click on the assignment link that brings you to the PayPal Passport site. Complete that assignment, then come back to the video, and we'll talk about the motivators of going global. Businesses pursue international opportunities for a number of reasons. Some of the more common include the opportunity to make sales to other markets, diversifying to take advantage of cyclic or seasonal fluctuations and reduce the risk of relying solely on the domestic market, responding to changing domestic conditions, and access to lower cost structures. First, let's consider sales to other markets. Did you know that 1.8 billion people will enter the consuming class by 2025? Consider the burgeoning middle class in China and India. Emerging markets will be spending $30 trillion annually by 2025 and account for 50% of the world's consumption. Another key motivator for going international is diversification and reduced risk. For instance, consider sales cycles or seasonal fluctuations. When it's winter here, it's summer in Chile and Argentina, and vice versa. Another key motivation is changing domestic conditions. Take a look at the graphic in front of you. What's happening to sales of Coca-Cola in the United States? Well, despite the fact that the average American consumes about 400 Cokes per year, which is a lot of Coca-Cola, you can see that these numbers are shrinking. In marketing terms, we say that the US market for soda is saturated. What about India? Would you like to take your best guess as to how many Cokes the average Indian drinks per year? Please pause the video and click on the homework link that asks that question. Answer the question and then resume the video. Welcome back. As pointed out by Coca-Cola's Chief Executive Officer Muhtar Kent, the average Indian consumes only 12 8-ounce bottles of Coke a year. That's amazing compared to more saturated countries like the United States. So it's probably fairly obvious that Coke needs to look outside the United States in order to continue to make sales. Either when you finish the video or if you'd like to pause it now, take a look at the second question that I posted in the discussion forum. It ties in really well with the idea of changing domestic conditions and going international to address that. So take a look at what tobacco companies are doing to address the problem that they're facing, which is actually quite similar to what the soda companies are facing in the United States. Yet another motivation to go global is lower cost structures. You'll notice that I put a graphic of Ocean Spray on the slide. Ocean Spray grows their cranberries in Chile because it's so much cheaper than in the United States due to lower environmental standards. More often than not, lower cost structures are for lower labor. So that's why this example is interesting in that it's quite a different reason for lower cost structures, but nonetheless a very important one. Last but certainly not least, one of the primary movers of internationalization is the opportunity to achieve economies of scale. If you've ever taken economics, you're probably familiar with economies of scale. That basically says if you produce a whole lot of units of something, it costs less on a per unit basis than producing fewer units because you can spread your fixed cost over more of those units. So going international offers a number of very significant advantages to companies. But what about small companies? Can they pursue international markets? I started out in a small business exporting construction equipment to Mexico, so I can categorically say yes, small companies can take advantage of international markets. The key is developing the expertise to do so, which is what we'll spend the rest of the semester discussing. What about those folks who are interested in international business, but who are not necessarily keen on starting their own business? Well, for those, I would like to point out that 1 out of every 8 jobs in Southern California is directly related to trade. This statistic comes from the Port of Los Angeles. I'm including a link to a PowerPoint from the port that talks about the myriad jobs that are available in international business. I look forward to receiving your homework, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the discussion forum.